Have you wanted to paint animals that look soft, fluffy, and realistic in watercolor? In today's tutorial, we'll paint this cozy sleeping fox. Step by step, I'll show you how to use wet on wet for the soft base, control your water so colors won't bleed everywhere, and add details like fur, whiskers, and shadows to make the painting look 3D. If you're new here, I'm Windy, a self-taught artist. On this channel, I share tips, techniques, and inspiration I've picked up along my journey. My goal is to help you to grow as an artist and create in your own unique way, no matter where you're starting from. So join me to learn new skills and let's grow together. Now grab your brushes and let's start painting. Using the watercolor paper is quite important. I like to use 100% cotton paper, 300 gram. Cotton paper absorbs water beautifully, allowing pigments to spread smoothly and enhancing color vibrancy and blending. Choosing the right paper, you're already halfway to the success. For the brushes, I use round brushes 12 and 6, a flat brush for wetting paper, a small scrub brush for lifting highlights, and a paper towel and 2 water jars, 1 jar for rinsing and 1 jar for clean water. Keep the pencil sketch light. For beginners, use the geometric shape to help sketching. Draw a big oval or bowl shape for the body. Around the center of the big oval, draw a circle for the head resting on the feet and a smaller circle for muzzle. Triangles for the ears on top of the head circle. Mark the white fur area around the cheek, muzzle, inner ear edges so we remember to keep them dry. Tape the edges of your paper to prevent warping. If you're a beginner, I suggest mixing your colors before you start so they're ready as soon as you wet the paper. Now let's lay in the base for the fox fluffy fur. With clean water, wet the entire sheet evenly until it has a smooth sheen. Make sure there's no puddles. Keep all white areas dry so color doesn't creep into them, like the muzzle highlight and inner ear rims. Now load a directly warm orange, paint inside the sketch line but stop about 0.5 cm short of the edge, and naturally form the fox's right side curve. Leaving that small gap helps keep the fox body shape crisp and prevents the paint from spreading too far. Thinking of it like when water spreads on the paper towel, if you pour too closely to the edge, it overflows. By leaving a little space, you give the watercolor room to expand naturally without losing control of the shape. While it's still glossy, float a slightly stronger orange along the back and feet curve so it softly gradients. Small tip here for water control: when the paper is glossy thin, meaning it's safe to drop color. Satin sheen is good for adding darker shades. When painting, your brush should be loaded but not dripping. If you want to prevent standing when adding darker shades, your brush should contain less water than the paper. As the surface shifts from glossy to satin, let's add in deeper warm mix along the underside of the tail and the lower body and the feet. Also around the forehead and the ear shadows. Think of the body as a ball. The light is from above, so darken the lower curve of the head, the underside of the muzzle, and the shadow where head meets body. Use a richer warm dark tone like Bernsinia or Sepia. Keep strokes with fur direction and the edges stay soft. Let the base dry, then switch to a number 6 round brush. Use a dry brush to add some fur details. For the ears, mix a neutral grade. You can use ultramarine with Bernsteinia or sepia. Paint the inner ears shadows, leaving the rim edges crisp and light. Feather the inner edge with a damp brush. Adding eyes, line, and nose. Keep the highlights dry and soften the strokes with a clean damp brush so it sits into the fur. I also add a light shadow around the bottom of the muzzle highlights. Even though the fur is white, it still has some shadow, and adding them helps the muzzle fit more naturally into the whole painting. Once the layers dry, I like to use a damp scrub brush to lift out a few fine hairs on the forehead and around the ears. It gives the fur a nice highlight. Just make sure to rinse your brush each time, or you will end up smudging paint around instead of lifting it. Use a ridger brush with opaque black color. Pull from the muzzle outward in quick tapered strokes. Vary the length and direction so it's more natural. Small tip here, move your arm instead of just your wrist when painting the whiskers. This will help you create straighter, smoother strokes. Deepen the leg that tucks under and a few dark fur on the forehead. Use vertical, short strokes to paint fur clumps. For the shadows, mix a cool neutral. Paint a soft cast shadow beneath the body and tail. Hardest edges nearest the fox. Then immediately feather outward with a damp brush so it fades. Here are some tips for troubleshooting. For the backgrounds, or cauliflower they say, happens when the wet hits semi-dry. You can either re-wet the whole shape or let dry and glaze over. The second one is paint creeping into white. So it happens when paper is too wet or you paint it to the edge. Next time, just leave about 0.5 cm buffer. Use a dry brush to pour color back immediately. The last one is muddy color. It happens when there are too many passes while wet. Drop color, then leave it alone until dry. Great job! You learned wet-on-wet control, clean whites, soft to hard edges, and how to think 3D for sketching out the objects. If this helped, please like and subscribe to my channel and tag me with your fox so I can see your version of painting. I'll see you next time. Happy painting!